Today's lesson is 510 in the green book, and we are doing page 247, 1 through 44 odd, and we are looking at special products of binomials. So, the first one we're going to learn about is called difference of squares. Everybody say difference of squares.
Difference of squares.
Okay, so when I multiply the first one, right, I multiply x times x, we get x squared. I know when I multiply the last one, or when I do x times x, I get x squared. When I do x times negative 3, we get negative 3x. Then when I distribute the second one, I get positive 3x. And then I'm multiplying positive 3 times negative 3, we get negative 9. When I simplify it, what happens to my middle terms?
They disappear.
They negate each other, right? So what are we left with? Equals x squared minus 9. Let's do the next one. I've got x squared, right? And then I get minus 7x. Then I'm going to get plus 7x, and I get minus 49. What does it simplify to? X squared, these two negate, minus 49. Can anybody see a pattern? What is the pattern here? Explain it. Daisy.
The linear terms are the ones that are canceling each other out.
Right. The linear terms get negated in a situation where the binomial is exactly the same except for the sign. When you have two binomials that you are multiplying by each other that are exactly the same, except the sign in the middle is different, one's plus, the other's minus, then you will get something where your middle terms are negated. Basically, we square the first term, what does it equal? M squared. Square the second term, what does it equal? Square the second, 16. Notice, when I'm multiplying positive 4 and negative 4, what do we get? Negative 16. What would the next one be? T squared minus 25. Does everybody understand the pattern? Okay, so let's try it. So the rule is, first let me show you the rule. The rule here is, we said, our outer and inner terms get canceled. So our rule is, what we end up having is a perfect square. The minus sign is a difference, and we finish with a perfect square. So it's a perfect square minus a perfect square. That's why it's called a difference of squares. Do you understand that? Perfect square, different sign, perfect square. A difference of squares. So let's try it. 3 more. Okay. Pause the recording and you try the next 3. Okay, now check your work. All right, now, I'm going to have you guys pause this, but before you do it, let's look at number 4. It's the same thing. Square the first term. They're exactly the same, right? Except one is plus 3, the other's minus 3. So square the first term, Julia.
2p to the second.
Right, but 2p to the second makes what? If I square the whole thing, what does it become? 2 has to be squared too. 2 squared is?
So 4p to the second.
Right, and square the last one? Second term, square the last one? 9. Remember, it's minus 9. Notice, it's a difference of squares. All right, I want you guys to put it on pause, and I want you to finish up the page. Go.
From 4 or so.
Let's start with Harrison. Hold on, let me get caught up. So number 1 was p squared minus 4. Number 2, go Harrison.
Number 2 was x squared minus 81.
Yep. Next one, number 3, Daisy.
W squared minus 100.
Good. I did number 4, which was 4p squared minus 9. And then go Max.
Number 5, I got, t squared.
Start, keep it in order.
36 minus t squared.
Good, 36 minus t squared. If you had moved it, the only way you could have moved it in the order, the only other way it would have been written would be like this. T squared, negative t squared plus 36. So if you moved it, remember the negative belongs to the t. Number 6, go Nicole.
Number 6 is n squared minus 25.
Good, Fionn. Number 7.
9x squared minus 49.
Perfect. Next one, go Gracie.
16 minus q squared.
Good. Next one, Maddie.
64d minus 1.
Next one, you both have gone. Well, you've all gone. Chloe. Oh, how about Tori? Tony. Huh? Can you wing it? Yeah. Square the first one.
4
Plus or minus?
minus 25.
Squared. Square the second term, square the first term, right? Okay. So everybody understands a difference of squares. Are you feeling pretty comfortable with that? Okay, so now we're going to go to something called binomial squares. Everybody say binomial square.
Binomial.
Okay, take a minute and simplify this one. Go. Pause the recording. See if you can simplify this. Let's see what you guys came up with. Okay. Chloe.
X squared plus 25.
X squared plus 25. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
I'm going to remind you that x plus 5 squared really means, okay, this is a very common mistake. In fact, look, it's in my PowerPoint. It is not equal to that because what you are doing is distributing an exponent. We can, if I have something like 5x squared y to the third, in that case, notice there's no plus sign. Everything in there is cubed. 5 is cubed, x squared to the third, and y is cubed. But in this case, there's a plus sign. We do not distribute exponents, okay? We distribute coefficients of that parenthesis, but not an exponent. What this means really is to square the binomial, x plus 5 times x plus 5. And if you notice, when I multiply x times x, what do we get? X squared. And then I get, if I'm double distributing, I'm going to continue and I'm going to distribute this. And we get what? Plus 5x. Then I distribute the bottom part, which is 5x plus 25. You guys with me? When I simplify that, what does it make?
X squared plus 10x plus 25.
Right. Now, I want to talk about the easy pattern for these kind of problems. Okay. If you notice the original binomial, right? We square the first term and it goes here. We square the second term and it goes here. You guys with me? Now, how do I get that? The shortcut for finding that middle term is we multiply x, both terms together, and what do I get? 5x. And then don't I multiply it twice? Times 2, right? Because I have two 5x's here. You with me? So do you understand why it's 2 times x times positive 5? Okay, and that gives me my 10x. You understanding that? So, the formula is, we're gonna, if I have the quantity of a plus b squared, it's a squared. The last term would be b squared. And the middle term is, I'm gonna multiply these two terms together, a times b, and then double it. 2 times a plus b. 2 times a times b. Is that making sense? Okay, so let's try it. That's the pattern. Let's try it. Square the first term. Julia.
P to the second,
Good. Square the last term.
81.
Positive 81. Good. Now multiply these two together. What do I get?
9,
And then double it times 2. What do I get?
9,
2 times 9p. 2 times 9p.
Can you do 9 times 9?
No, that's squaring. It's just 2 times 9p. 2 times 9 is 8 plus 18p. Try the next one, Julia. Square the first term.
Y to the second,
Right. And the last term, what's that going to be?
144.
Uh-huh. Multiply them together. What do we get?
Negative 12y.
Good. And then double that times 2.
Negative 24y.
Negative 24y. You understand? Nicole, next one.
M squared.
Uh-huh. Last term.
36.
Positive or negative?
Negative. I mean positive.
Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Okay, negative times a negative. Middle term, multiply m and negative 6. What do I get?
This is going to be 12m.
What kind? Negative 6m times 2
Oh, negative.
is negative
12m.
12m. Do the last one, guys. Okay, Maddie, what do I do for number 4?
X squared,
Uh-huh.
then 9.
9 what?
9 at the end.
At the end. Positive or negative?
Positive.
And the middle term, the linear term?
And the middle term would be 6x.
Positive or negative? Positive 6x. You get the idea? Okay, these are binomial squares. Everybody say binomial square. Now you can still, expand it out. P plus 9 times P plus 9 and do the double distributing. But this is just your shortcut. I think you should take the shortcuts when you get them. When I have a coefficient, I don't know that I would just do my double distributing, right? When you have a coefficient to a variable, this means 2p plus 7 times 2p plus 7. The first and last terms will be easy to do. Square the first one. What is it? 4p squared, right? Square the last one. 49, positive. The middle will be 14p, and this one will be 14p. So that's, oh, actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. Sorry. Forget that. Don't do it that way. Do it the same way we've been doing it. The first term we said is 4p squared. The last term we said is positive 49. Multiply it together. What do I get? 2p times 7. 14p, double it. Plus 28p. You get it? Square the first one. Next one. Square the first one.
25p.
25p. Square the last one.
81.
Multiply them together.
45.
Times 2.
90p.
Plus 90p. Look what I did. I forgot my sign for 81. If you forget that sign, I will mark you off. Okay, finish the rest. Pause the recording. Finish the rest. Okay, number 1. Have I skipped anybody? I think I got everybody. Okay, Fionn, go.
T squared plus 2t plus 1.
Yep. Okay. Number 2. Nicole?
Oh, I didn't. I continued from there.
Okay. Go, Gracie. Number 2.
x squared plus 6x plus 9.
Plus 6x
Oh, minus 6x plus 9.
minus 6x. So it's negative 3 times x is negative 3x times 2 is negative 6x. Number 3. Oh, let's check our work. Let me see if there's anything else I have here. You can pause the recording if you like. Did everybody get the right answer on number 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see what the next lesson is. I think it's the next. It's just, I'll go back, hold on. It's just true or false. Okay, or more true or false. Okay, so that's just it. All right, you can check your work.
Oh, I did
And-
2y instead of y.
Okay, that's the lesson.